Patreon. What? What? Are you seeing this right now? Look at that. What?
Hey!
Guys, are you seeing this right now?
Look at this.
What's this?
What is this? Hey, what is this?
We're in a library, Cheese. We're in a library.
Are we?
No! Guys, I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. We're not in a library right now. We're actually in the Bahamas. Oh, look, it just changed. It's awfully warm in here.
It's very great.
Oh my gosh.
It's a little warm to be wearing a sweatshirt. We finally got the budget to take fanfic talk to new places.
Well, guys, I'm gonna let you in on another secret. We're not actually in the Bahamas.
No.
We're actually in front of a green screen. It just turned off. It's showing the green screen now. And if the entire video is just us in front of the green screen, that means that it didn't work. It didn't work. So, but that's probably not going to happen.
Thanks to your guys' continued support, we got enough money in the budget to buy a big green screen.
It's definitely not a blanket suspended over two poles that I found in my backyard. It's a real green screen, guys, and we're using it in this episode of Fanfic Talk.
Fanfic Talk.
Yes, and we're not doing a fanfic flip today.
Fanfic Talk.
We're skipping a fanfic flip.
We're talking about Fanfic Talk.
Yes.
Fanfic Talk.
Yes.
We're flipping over Fanfic Flip to Fanfic Talk.
Yeah, that's a clever way of putting it, Cheese. And let's put the clever counter up here, you know. Where is it? I guess the editor forgot to put it in there. What do we normally do on this show again? Oh,
Fanfic Talk.
It's episode 18.
Is it?
No.
It's 19.
Wait, no, it's not. It's 18.
It's 19.
It's 18, Cheese. I'm certain of it.
19.
It's 18.
It's 19.
It's Cheese. Look it up. Look it up, Cheese. It's 18.
It's 19.
And you're gonna feel awfully foolish.
It's 19.
You're gonna feel awfully foolish
It's 19.
when it ends up not being 19.
It's 19.
Okay, I guess we'll see. He's going to look foolish. You're gonna have egg on your face after this one, you know, I mean, it's not even popping up.
Give me a second.
Wax pen? That's the wrong account. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I tried to look it up.
It's called Fanfic Talk on YouTube. What on earth? Oh, okay, yeah, this is episode 19, guys, just like we were saying before. Cheese, what are our topics today?
Star Fox and F-Zero.
Oh, what? I mean, what? What are they called?
Star Fox Disunion and Zero.
But before we get to those guys, we need to read a poem, because that's a thing that we do now. For some reason, it's called Toy Soldier. Well, Cheese, why don't you read?
Fox isn't a soldier, he's a bounty hunter.
What the heck?
Well, we should mention that you're the Star Fox fan here. I've never played a Star Fox game personally.
Yeah, you tried it one time, but you were really bad at it. I'm pretty sure you purposely were just crashing yourself into the ground, and then I took it away.
That's probably what it was. I'm sure I'm not actually. I'm a good gamer, guys.
No, you're not.
I game from time
No,
to time.
you're not.
I dabble in the gaming arts.
You don't dab, though.
I don't dab, though. I mean, what kind of loser, what kind of lowlife would dab? Especially like on camera or something?
You have to do it now.
Ow! A Star Fox poem. Fox talks about how the war and the military is affecting him. Was Fox in the military?
He actually,
Consider your ass exposed. You are a false fan.
I'm supposed to be a soldier who never loses his composure. The one that you look up to, the one that makes you sober.
that doesn't make any sense.
Even though I've got the weight of the whole world on my shoulders.
That's a whole galaxy, actually.
and I'm never supposed to show it. Never let it fall, even if the whole thing makes my heart stall. Oh, that's why I put that so it would rhyme with stall. But my team ain't supposed to know this. As Fox say,
Ain't.
but
No.
my team ain't supposed to know this. Not know of the dark side. Ah, yes, the dark side. You know, everybody knows in Star Fox you have the dark side.
That's Star Wars.
Classic Star Fox. The dark side of this war. The side that kills your
What
pride.
is he talking about?
Holds it up tight. He's talking about war. Like the moon holds the tide. Even if I lose myself knowing that I've died.
Now, I'd never drag them into battle. Not knowing if I could win, putting them in harm's way can only be a sin.
I don't understand. I don't understand.
These guys are like my brothers. They always got my back, even if I don't think I can help in the attack.
Don't ever give up, my son.
I'm supposed to set an example, be the one you want to be. You're supposed to grow up and want to be like me.
Who? Me, the
Fox.
player? Oh.
But I don't know if this is right. If the apple's supposed to fall far from the same tree. After all, is this even truly me? Do I want to walk around and act like I'm truly free? Do I want to lie and pretend to be what they want me to be? But I guess I gotta be the leader and do what I think is right. Because a war is going on, I gotta go out and fight. Corneria is my heart. It's my home that I will protect with all my...
What? Can you reread that sentence, please? I'm trying to get into this.
Corneria is my home that I will protect her with all my might. There will only be a day where the future wouldn't look bright.
Okay, let's close this, okay. So Cheese is bringing up the coin on his laptop now, and let's say heads is gonna be Star Fox Disunion, and tails will be 0. Let's get flippin', but not fanfic flippin', because we're not doing a fan.
Heads is Star Fox Disunion and Tails is 0. Star Fox Disunion. Star Fox Disunion by Mark Nicholson V2. She thought she'd found a home, a sanctuary where she could feel loved again and at peace. Then she learned it was only a dream. Now she stands staring over the cliff, waiting for him to push her back into the nightmare of solace.
Oh,
What?
Star Fox Disunion. I guess I'll start reading.
This is terrible.
We haven't even read it. Here I go. Here I go. I'm
Read
gonna
it.
read it. I really don't want to read it. Crystal quickly rested her fingers over her mouth,
Quickly.
trying to hide her laughter at how the tigress...
Tigers.
I think this is an OC. Tigress had casually poured the contents of her freshly prepared drink over Falco's head. What? Falco remained coolly in place.
You probably shouldn't laugh anymore.
Never give up.
Falco remained coolly in place, merely closing his eyes to protect them from the liquid that ran down his feathers, past his beak and down into his street clothing. Okay, so he's dressed casually. Once the drink had been emptied, the tigress... What? Oh, so that's not her name. She just is a tigress. She's a tiger, but she's a girl. They have to make that clear, I guess. He's not hanging out with male tigers. Okay. So we're on the beach. We're on the beach. That's where we are.
You can feel the desperation.
Falco opened his eyes and returned her gaze with a casual smirk. He has a beak. He can't really smile. It's a beak. He's a duck. But what fun would that be? A small chuckle escaped Crystal's lips as she briefly turned away to hide her offense. Falco grunted in disapproval. "Well, if you change your mind, I'll be at the table right behind you." He leaned in closer to her. "Alcohol-drenched feathers could just mean more fun later," he whispered suggestively. The tigress swiftly placed her paw over his beak, hooked his nostril with her claw, and pulled his head away from her, fly away. That would be cool.
Just break.
It never does, Cheese. It never does, and you always try, and it never does.
These joints are not what they used to be.
Crystal subtly gained Falco's attention while his gaze was forced her way, gesturing to his seat at the team's booth with an expression of pity. That's kind of how we look at this fanfic. Falco looked back at the tigress and raised his feathered hands in surrender. Your loss. Unhook me. The tigress released him and steadily turned back towards the holographic screens ahead. This is futuristic. What year in the future is Star Fox set, Cheese?
I don't know.
Cool. All right. Well,
I hope something bad happens to both you and your family.
okay. Well, I was hoping that made you talk for a while so I could...
They're animals.
Cool. Oh, cool.
They're not humans.
Falco stood from his stool, slicked back the feathers on his head, then stepped over to the booth where there's Slippy, where Slippy and Crystal were seated. Slippy gave a light applause while Crystal commented, "You tried." Oh, they're all buddies. They're all hanging out.
Hey guys, you don't mind if I hang with you again, do you?
Falco took his place across from Crystal and next to Slippy, intentionally sliding into the toad to knock him sideways.
Hey!
That's Slippy's voice if I've ever heard it.
Hey! I was just merely applauding how well you handled having a drink pointed on your head.
Slippy erupted in another poorly concealed fit of laughter. Crystal smiled while shaking her head at Slippy's outburst, then looking back at Falco sympathetically. Maybe next time? Falco shrugged. There's always another kitty in the city. Oh boy. Now, where's your knight in shining armor?
Are they talking about Fox McCloud?
The name's Fox. Fox McCloud. My father is dead.
The question ignited a spark of anxiety in her chest. Why? Is he abusive?
Yes.
Crystal took a glance around the bar, spotting him watching her from a doorway to the lounge and lavatory. Before she could lock eyes with him, he pulled himself from her sight. The confirmed fear stabbed her heart. I'll go get him, she chuckled, trying to sound more lighthearted than she felt. Crystal stood from the booth and nervously started to make her way towards Fox. All other noise seemed to disappear as her inner voice whispered a grave warning. The sooner you find him, the sooner this all ends. What?
So I wonder if this is a sequel. When is this set? You know, they haven't said. I'm very confused.
She came in Star Fox Adventure, which is a questionable game.
Let's look at some scenes from it.
Don't...
Możekov miad ijo ajat smoke. Ut ad kikeno owe baksh mufofen. Kuho tavahodus kai. Ke itkon ak fenovic.
Crystal came around the corner to see Fox leaning against the wall.
See, he is cool. He's a loner. I wish I was alone right now.
Both his back and head pressed against it, whilst his disquieted eyes stared a hole in the ceiling. She stood silently beside him, biting her lip nervously.
Like a wolf biting their lip probably looks really weird.
It's a fox. Oh no. Okay, well, time to get back to the story.
Oh, really? But we don't have to, though.
She was biting her lip nervously as she fought to find her voice. He hadn't given indication that he knew she was there, as if he didn't notice her approach or didn't want to accept it. Crystal thought of the soft touch of his hand. She steadily reached for it. Fox! She spoke in the most empathetic tone she could muster. Finally, he took a long, calming breath and closed his eyes. I need to talk to you in private, he replied, hardly above a whisper. Was all she could answer, attempting to give him an encouraging smile, but it wasn't returned. He didn't even Fox stayed for a
Oh boy.
It's your turn.
I'm really invested in this Star Fox story, because there's one thing about Star Fox that I know, is that there's a lot of long dialogue scenes.
Nope.
With no action.
Nope.
That's better! I tell you what, young'un, I'll help you out. Here you are, my boy. This is a scarab bag. By collecting scarabs, you'll be able to buy many useful items.
Damn it.
Crystal followed as 1,000 frights flooded her mind with each step they ascended. She tried to find happiness in positive memories of Fox, hoping to assure herself she was overthinking his distance from her lately. Okay, so there's a bit of a distance, a bit of a disconnect. He had excused his way out of the last couple times she had tried to hold his hand, busied himself with their missions, and left no time for their personal dates, only involving her in ways that ultimately just left her behind on the Great Fox. Is that a ship?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I wasn't in the games.
It was so different from how things were. He'd always been there for her when she was at her worst, listening to things she thought no one else could ever understand, even the loss of her family. He had cuddled warmly with her and shared stories of his childhood and all of his passions, his face glowing with energy while his volume subconsciously grew louder and deeper. He got on the subject, igniting an excitement in her she could share in. A cool breeze brought Crystal to realize that she had followed Fox outside to the roof of the bar and was now being led to one of its empty corners away from the other dweller. Crystal looked... cut that one out. Crystal looked up at the stars above and saw herself flying among them by Fox's side. Star Fox had built Crystal, wouldn't they be like suffocating in space? But Star Fox had built Crystal her very own fighter, and she couldn't even count the times that her and Fox had engaged in racing amongst the lit vastness. Well, that's pretty lit, as the kids say. The joyful rush she received from their adventures could only be matched by his kiss. Alright, Cheese, well, I think I've read enough, so why don't you go ahead and take the wheel. But we don't have to switch over.
That paragraph.
She never forgot the night they shared on Christmas and all the
They
following...
do Christmas in the Lilac system?
Hey, Fox, Merry Christmas! Merry Christmas to you too, Falco. Where you been? Oh, I've been out shopping. Here, Peppy. Merry Christmas. Oh, I love Quality Street chocolates. I love those. Wow.
And all the following times he would pull her aside to feed her lips.
Oh,
Ew,
jeez.
that
What
soft
on earth?
Jeez, quit moving around.
Crystal folded her arms tight over her chest, digging her nails past the fur on her arms and into her skin.
Oh.
Trying to hide any sign of the emotional distress that was eating her. I don't want this to end.
I do.
She wished he would turn around, pull her into a hug, and tell her everything was fine, but her inner voice told her otherwise. Then Fox spoke, his voice shaking as it failed to conceal his dread.
Don't worry, Falco. We're all kind of sick, aren't we, Peppy?
I guess so.
Nothing followed.
Oh, come on, get on with it!
Crystal cautiously stepped forward, her hand lightly touching his arm.
Fox, what's wrong?
She asked, concerned, her voice trying to hide that she already knew the words he couldn't speak. Fox's muscles tensed again, then the words finally came. I don't want you on this team anymore. Crystal stepped back, tucking her chin towards her collarbone. Even knowing that what was to come couldn't prepare for how his words tore right through her.
Why?
She whispered, fighting the lump that was forming in her throat. That's this episode's joke, is taking everything.
Yeah. Everybody's gonna really love that one, I think.
Fox was now completely stiff. I can't. I should have never. Fox's neck began to contract.
What? Like a turtle. That's a weird way of saying that.
Then it relaxed as he looked off to the city's horizon, revealing the pure devastation in his eyes. I watched you almost die by the hand of my enemies. I wish I could be your knight in shining armor that could protect you no matter what. What? Okay, then just be that.
He can't handle the pressure.
Okay, well, just handle the pressure then.
Some people crack under pressure, Cheese.
James told him never to give up! Fox's eyelids screwed shut as his head turned away. But I can't control the outcome of our battles, and I won't risk losing you to those who are after me. It's my fault! I know it's my fault, and now I have to! Fox's voice cracked. I'm sorry, but I have to make things right and save you while I can! It's a very emotional performance. Yeah. Crystal felt the stinging tears threatening to escape her eyes as she struggled to find words. Kicking me off the team won't solve this, Fox. I don't want to lose you. I don't want to lose my family again.
How did her family die?
I don't know. Who cares about Crystal?
Apparently this guy does. Maybe a little too much.
From what I read, and at the end, Crystal did kiss Fox. I don't know. I always thought it'd be kind of cool to see that part a little bit. It'd be kind of interesting.
There wasn't really much of a relationship between them and then.
Oh, so they're shipping these characters in the story. But not a starship!
Moving on. Okay.
Alright.
Fox turned to face her, still refraining from meeting her eyes, and held out an envelope.
What?
Your Cloud Runner is docked at a hangar just a kilometer from here with all your belongings packed in it. In this slip is the hangar's address and a card with plenty of credits. Maybe go back to Saria, where you're known. And Fox's eyes and mouth closed as his gaze fell, crumpling the end of the envelope tightly in his hand. Crystal took the envelope from him, only to let it drop to the ground as her eyes remained locked on him. I don't want the new life. I want you. Jeez, this is terrible.
I should have never let you on our ship. You would have had to stay on Saria, where they would have remained your family. In an iron-willed display, Fox opened his eyes and locked them with crystals.
I don't know, I'm just very disappointed.
I've decided this, Crystal. You're not coming back with us, even if it means you despising me for the rest of your life. I won't have you in danger from my enemies anymore.
Does Fox even have the ability to kick someone off the team? Is he the leader? Well, what about Peppy?
Peppy! You can't die! Too bad!
Don't do it!
You would not be here had I not let you in. He opened them and looked upon her with regathering strength. I understand. You can meet any fate, anywhere, but it won't be here. I will not be the reason you die. I won't. Oh, jeez. Wow. I'm losing my mind.
Crystal looked towards the ground as she tried to force her body to stop shaking. She wasn't really cold. She reached out for Fox's hand as she looked at him with a pleading expression. I want to be with you, Fox. I love you. And if that means I die, then I want to fight alongside you until then.
That's
Get
Crystal.
over it.
That's Crystal.
I know, but it just keeps going. She just keeps saying the same thing. Move the story along. Now Fox is gonna say no, and she's gonna say please, and he's gonna say like I don't think so. She's gonna be like please, and he's like no. Oh wait, Fox didn't reject her hand, but she could see his jaw tensing. Crystal, I'm asking you to jeez. I'm asking you to leave. You can fight me all you want. You can even go down and get the rest of the team involved in this.
I don't know where we are.
They're just still in the bar, I guess, just sitting there. But from me to you, I want you gone. I want you safe. Please, Crystal. Fox's stern tone instantly dropped to his own shaky pleading. Please, do what I say. Fox knelt, picked up the envelope, and placed it in her interlocked hands as he stood. Take the credits and live the life I've kept from you.
That's really stupid. I mean, yeah, sure, she can almost die.
Couldn't all of his friends die?
Yeah.
Is he treating Crystal that specially?
Yeah, that he doesn't care about the rest of his friends.
With her off the team, his friends have a higher chance of dying because they don't have as much backup. Crystal became still for a moment. Here she goes again. This isn't about the team. This is about us. She glanced down at the white package,
about us.
Contemplating her decision.
Oh.
Then returned to his quivering eyes. Her own expression. General Pepper, this isn't about the team. This is about us. Oh, I know, but I'm saying it better now. Crystal said, it's not about the team. This is about us. She glanced down.
That's not how she talks. She's a girl.
This isn't about the team. This is about us.
I have to make her sound so weak.
This isn't about the team. This is about us.
Why do you have to make her sound so mean?
She glanced down at the white package, contemplating her suicide, then returned to his quivering
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Great minds think alike. Her own expression revealing surrender. If I do as you ask, will I ever see you again? Fox swallowed. I will always remember ye. Ye will live in every dream and haunt every...
Jeez.
Oh wait, she'll haunt every waking moment?
Yeah, that's not gonna distract him from battle.
Watch out, Fox! Fuck!
I don't know, I think he'll get over it.
There's plenty of kitties in the city.
Stop it.
The moment I said that.
Stop it.
As part of protecting you, I can no longer know you in any way. This, Crystal...
No, it's just stupid.
Fox finally broke as his voice choked up and his tears escaped his eyes. This is goodbye.
Wow.
Crystal's entire body trembled at the sudden realization that she was about to be left completely alone. She closed her eyes, grasping for inner acceptance, her body calming as she knelt and picked up the envelope, trying to hold on. Don't worry about giving me an answer. I think I already have it. She choked out as she stood. I don't want your money, Fox. You won't have to worry about me again. Crystal restrained further tears as she quickly turned and walked away from him, looking back only once. I will always love you, Fox, even if you never loved me. I don't know, do you want to finish this?
Sure.
Really?
You've become so strong.
We're almost done.
She looked away and approached the door leading back to the bar. She felt Fox grab her arm and roll her back toward him. His eyes were now frantic.
Oh my gosh, he's lost it.
Where are you going to go? Where are you going to eat and sleep? Crystal, take the card! Fox looked at her with earnest care as he calmed his voice. You owe me nothing. Please, take it. Crystal let the rising anger overtake her emotions, if only for a moment as she pulled away from him.
I don't want your worry, Fox. Your worries will cause me this pain to begin with.
Crystal wanted to fall to the ground and weep, but forced herself to keep standing as her anger faded.
Are you alright?
I'm the only person who knows my past. You know I can survive. You can't give me money.
I have to make her sound so weak.
I feel better for abandoning me here.
Bringing her to turn away and quickly descend the stairs without saying another word.
I think this is gonna have a somber ending. Are you alright?
She used her telepathy. Telepathy.
I think you said it wrong every single time.
She was sure she knew the location of her team members, hearing Slippy still giggling while Falco cursed at him in his own struggle of drying the last of his sticky feathers.
Oh,
She
Falco.
went.
I just want it to be over.
Don't go dying on me.
She still didn't want to pit Slippy and Falco against him. Not for her. Wiping her leaking tears and ignoring every living soul that passed her. Until she came to an alley she darted into. She took a moment and telepathically listened for any dangers, but found it lifeless. She was alone, letting her back fall to the alley wall. Crystal slid to the ground, pulled her knees to her breasts, and sobbed freely into them.
Oh! Is this where it's gonna end?
Letting her mind fall to pieces with the life she just lost.
So her life and her mind just fell to pieces. Wow.
I mean, Fox kind of deserves it.
Yeah, Fox just kind of put himself into this situation.
I don't know.
Quit laughing with your mouth full. Quit it. Stop. Stop it. Stop laughing with your mouth full, you uncivilized pigma.
Hey, thanks for helping me out.
Well, let's check out the comments.
There's one review. Oh, come on. I don't want to read this entire
Oh
comment. Oh, I hate this scene? Okay, well, maybe we should read it.
Well, it says that this kind of writing by Nintendo is overly... This isn't by Nintendo.
No, yeah.
What is
This
this?
isn't canon. That being said, though, I believe this is a beautiful example of a well-written one-shot.
What?
Because it really hit me
What?
like a truck. Oh.
Oh, gosh.
I wish I could be hit by a truck. You managed to change the mood so quickly. I don't want to read the rest of this. It's both
You
positive
don't
and
have to.
negative. Okay, yeah, we don't.
7:34.
It's 7:34 at night, guys. We don't have time for this.
Sorry to jet, but I'm in a hurry.
All right, guys. We just now finished reading Star Fox Disinterest. I have something to admit, Cheese. No one has made an F-Zero poem. The next best thing was I found something for Speed Racer. It's a Speed Racer poem.
How Speed Racer Jr. and Tony Stark are the same.
And this is by Smart Kira.
This is something that popped into my head.
Wow.
It's not our fault that we or our family is so smart.
Oh, that's true. Speed Racer. I've never even seen Speed Racer.
In racing and inventing the next high-tech suit of armor with all the necessary essential that are the next in line state-of-the-art car that's going to rock this world around.
What?
We live our lives in the fast lane.
That's
with
a
the
song.
wind in our hair. Conquering any dangers that we happen to come across. Plus add in conspiracies, theories, and life-threatening dangers and situations with villains who can be more of a handful than trouble itself. We just go with the punches, we just go with the flow. And we don't just throw out some random punches and hope for the best. We analyze the data and get our facts in a straight line before we accuse you of a crime.
Did she try a rhyme at the end there?
I don't.
What is wrong with Smart Kira?
She's
Like,
really bad.
Seriously. I feel like these are getting worse. Like the very first one we ever read kind of made sense, but now they're just like devolving.
Don't waste your life.
There's one more to go.
Alright. Well, Cheese, now back to F-Zero. People have written F-Zero fanfics, but there's only like 40, so we didn't have much to choose from. But the ones that we did find were as follows. Heads will be A Second Chance. Tails will be The Legend of Formula Zero.
Formula Zero.
Oh, it's only 1,000 words. The last one was 3,000. So this will go fast. It's almost done. We're almost done. By Captain Falcon GX. He wrote this? Wow. A combination of F-Zero X, GX/AX, and anime storylines with a sprinkle of my own ideas.
There's anime of F-Zero?
I'm not aware of such a thing.
ブラックシャドウと決着をつける。ジョディ、これが私の最後の仕事だ。
The year 2561. Technological leaps have sent mankind into the deepest regions of space. The new markets opened up across the universe. People reached out to the stars, moving on to other worlds to settle down. However, even still, the planet Earth still suffered. I'm suffering. The gap between rich and poor grew even larger. Pollution and crimes ever infinite. However, there was one sport that excited one and all, the high-speed races of F-Zero. Oh, so this is teaching us about F-Zero. How much do you know about F-Zero?
Falcon Punch.
He does a Falcon Kick. You know, some people in the comments may say that we should have researched this ahead of time and actually know what we're talking about.
No.
Where racers put their minds and bodies on the line in order to walk away with fame, with the fame and money the circuit brings. A place where the forces of good and evil clash as the Milky Way Federation battles against the evil organization of Dark Million.
What? What's Dark Million?
It's the evil organization, because they're dark. Dark side.
Justice League.
Yeah, no. We can't talk about those films.
Release the Snyder Cut. This is gonna be a good episode.
No. The beginning. The cheers of the crowd could be heard from miles around as they entered the crowd arenas of the racetrack Mute City, Twist Road. The invisible barricades protect the crowd from dangerous temperatures and flying scrap metal the machines may break off.
Mute City.
Yes, as collisions occurred during the intense race. As the crowd was settling down into their seats, an average-sized man in a green suit with his funky green hair and a pink gadget that covered the left side of his face and head came out of the backstage arena. It was Mr. Zero?
Mr. Zero.
Oh man, Mr. Zero?
Mr. Zero.
That's pretty crazy.
Mr. Zero.
The crowd in the stadium roared as loud as they could, and the people and all the other life form around the universe watching at home all yelled with them. Was this written by like an 8-year-old? All right then, ladies and gentlemen, mutants and aliens alike, let's bring out the racers, yelled Mr. Zero, with the crowd loudly responding. Well, he sure knows how to milk a crowd. His name was Jack Levin, a 19-year-old former pop group singer and outlaw racer. Due to his skills as a pilot, Jody Summer, commander of the I'm already getting lost. Commander of the High Mobile Patrol Unit, was persuaded to bring him into the force rather than for jail him for his illegal races.
I don't like this story. Well, Jack, are you sure you're ready to race? Maybe you need to sit out this time around and let professionals handle this one, joked another member of the unit. This time it was Rick Wheeler, a 25-year-old man. Though one could actually say he's 225.
What? This is complex. There's a lot of stuff going on.
Because he used to compete in F-Max Grand Prix. He also was a detective 200 years ago.
Are you going to get an explanation for this?
Oh, God.
They explain it.
Until an accident forced him into cold sleep, and he was awakened in this era.
He sounds pretty cool.
Due to his skills as a pilot, and law enforcer, he was immediately drafted to the unit. Come on, Rick. Stop joking. You've got to remember who's been in more F-Zero races than you here. Stand back, Jack.
Where's Captain Falcon?
Princia is actually a princess from that planet, but she secretly ran off to increase her life wisdom and experience before becoming queen. Princia immediately displayed financial ability, and she secretly ran off to enjoy.
Hey, you're reading too quickly. We need that ad revenue. So just read really slowly, and don't forget to plug our Patreon.
He walked past the three pilots, not looking at them, silently walking to the outside with the crowd's roar booming as soon as he stepped out towards his machine. He just strapped himself in and was ready to race. There's another guy we need to worry about, said Rick. Yeah, seriously, the one guy who never seems to lose a race. He's a one tough competitor, that's for sure, responded Jack. Why is it that he is so silent? How come he never talks?
What?
He just seems to live for the thrill of F-Zero and the hunt, of course. Though Princia, as she saw Falcon. Though maybe a silly fantasy, she always wanted a guy similar to Falcon in a sense. Some who's daring and not afraid of the dark. Someone who can be there to watch over and help whenever she's in trouble, but who can also be a gentleman and a romantic when need be.
What a cool
Falcon
guy.
most likely wasn't the latter. So what's the point of this?
I don't understand what's happening.
What's going on here?
Oh no, my pills!
I'm gonna read the ending now. Rick strapped himself into his machine, the Dragon Bird, which was the 19th position on the starting line. So are we even gonna get the race? Jack settled into his familiar Astro Robin on the 24th position. Oh, Princia sat comfortably in her machine, the Spark Moon, at the 20th position, while the captain was sitting rather calmly on his 30th position in his very familiar machine, the Blue Falcon. I know what that is.
Ooh, wow. I've gotten too good at that. No, I'm not even. I can do it better with my tongue. I'm doing it with like the back of my throat.
Okay, whatever. This is more interesting than the story. Racers, are you ready? Questioned Mr. Zero. Each racer revived their engines. I don't know if they meant to say that, but whatever. I think they meant to say revved. The machine roaring to his statement. Okay, pilots, on my mark, the race shall begin. A large sign counting down the numbers, with Mr. Zero and the crowd counting down with the machine. 3. The racers' eyes were locked onto the track before them. 2. Each racer had their...
Something's not right here.
1. This is exciting. Each machine was now hovering a foot off the ground, and the engines building up the rocket fire with a blast panel raised up behind every machine. Go! The machines began with a jet-like blast from their starting positions, with the blast panels blocking most of the fire from each machine and falling back down flat onto the track. I see why nobody likes F-Zero now.
This guy stinks!
The race was now on. Can the High Mobile Patrol... What?
And remember, kids, don't sit too close to the screen.
Are they asking me now? Can the High Mobile Patrol win this race? Or will the freaks and monsters of the Dark Million take home the prize? I don't know. Maybe some of the other intervention will intervene? I don't know what's happening. Stay tuned for the next episode of F-Zero. F-Zero is owned by Nintendo. I do not know anything about it. This is just a fan-made story, so don't sue me.
Okay.
Is that it?
Yep.
It's an unfinished story?
I love this story, says Alex988. Wolfman John.
Wolf? The crossover! It happened!
Like a good start. Can't wait to see what happens next. Chocolatey Genesis says, this is pretty good, mate. Right on, boy. That was terrible.
This was written in 2008, and there was never a part 2.
That was terrible.
I don't know why we read this. This was your idea. I texted you. I said, Cheese, you can choose anything.
You can choose any series, anything. And you immediately responded with, let's read F-Zero. This is all your fault. F-Zero, are you kidding me? We have to read this story over 1,000 words, almost 15,000, because of your poor decision making.
Some mistakes could take you into depression, yeah, and that's a serious thing. But when you admit that mistake and you start to figure out what you can learn from that mistake, that's the first process of deconstructing that mistake.
I'm sorry, jeez, I didn't mean to get so upset. Okay, well, is it review time? Should we review?
Yeah.
All right.
Well, personally, I thought that F-Zero was very lackluster and confusing.
You know what else was lackluster and confusing? The Star Fox one.
Dude.
What? They were both awful. I mean, I hated both of these stories.
Yes, but the F-Zero, absolutely nothing happened whatsoever.
Nothing happened in the Star Fox one either, except Crystal gets fired from the team, and
very many emotions were evoked.
So I guess this raises a good question, because Star Fox had all the emotional stuff, but F-Zero had nothing. There was no emotions, no clever wordplay. F-Zero was like written awfully. I don't think either. I mean, both are terrible. I don't want to pick either.
I don't know. There in the Star Fox, there was a lot more to make fun of.
That's true, but it was also a longer story though, so we have to take that into account. So, in the F-Zero one, we got to learn about what F-Zero is. That's special.
I still don't know what F-Zero is.
I don't think I understand it either. I can't help it. I've got to choose Star Fox. I hated it. I thought by all accounts that Star Fox would not win. But how can I choose the F-Zero one over?
The Star Fox. I like the Star Fox one because these emotions are terribly conveyed.
Oh, I thought you were about to say it made you feel a lot of emotion.
No, they're terribly conved to the audience.
I mean,
and also
repeatedly.
overdone.
Yes, they just kept going.
You are tearing me apart, Crystal!
You're just a little chicken.
F-Zero, it was like reading nothing. Both of these were so terrible, and I just can't believe that Star Fox is getting away with this.